That's right, it's the La Femme Film Festival 2020, and joining me right now is one of the many filmmakers that we have just doing their thing, and we've got with us Jean-Marie Spicuzza. Did I get the last name right?
You sure did.
Awesome, but this is easy. Night Rain, which I understand is not only a feature, but where an actress is hired by her stalker to make a low-budget period movie about a famous unsolved Los Angeles murder. What?
But she and her company of young indie filmmakers soon discover themselves to be the real subjects of the terror. They are unwittingly hired by their stalker, actually. And the famous unsolved Los Angeles murder is none other than Elizabeth Short's untimely death, also known as the Black Dahlia murder.
Okay, well, look, agree to disagree. I feel like this is more of like a real life story that we all got to be careful about in the business. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, it is. It serves as sort of a handbook to those of us who are working in film.
Because nobody has stalker written on their forehead nowadays. You got to look at the indicators of what could cause a stalking situation, right?
That's right. That's right. And sometimes it can come upon you very unexpectedly. For example, in Night Rain, the trigger for this stalker to really take action is kind of almost happenstance, that something happens very traumatic in his life. It just so happens to happen when this actress producer rejects his screenplay. So it's sort of like this colliding of events. And unfortunately, people who tend to be unbalanced tend to make the wrong assumptions or leaps in judgment, as we know, unfortunately.
I've had my own share. I know what you're talking. This is my life. I could give you stories on this. I got to be careful because they might be watching. But look, the reality is, look, yeah, you got one very good lead. You got to talk about him because he's pretty amazing. I happen to know him. He's a fantastic guy in front of the camera and even behind, but more in front. I'm talking about Adam Lesser over there. Adam, I understand, is one of the many characters in this film, right?
Yes, he's one of the leads. There are it's myself, Adam, Clarissa Thebault, Thessamolo, and Mattia Chico, and these indie filmmakers basically at a certain point become sequestered. So it's very apropos in terms of timing. Adam was one of the first actors I hired, and I actually still have the audition that he gave me. And when you see the audition, you can utterly see why he was chosen. He embodied the role. In independent film, I think especially, you are not so much looking to fit an actor in a slot as you are trying to find the character inside of that actor, that they'll be able to bring that forward. And Adam did it in spades. He was actually coached as well by Sean Rose of Grok Acting Studios, who I've worked with as well. And amazing talent, I have to say, amazing talent.
I'm so glad you brought that up because sometimes, look, we talk about filmmaking, right, a lot on this particular broadcast, but sometimes the actors need a little bit of what I call a soft push in the right direction. And coaching for a particular film project, was that your idea, his idea, or both of your ideas?
It was his idea, but I strongly encourage it. I do it myself.
Smart.
I don't want to, obviously, the director has a vision, carries that vision, wants to bring that vision forward,
right,
through the actors, the embodiment of the story, essentially. And you don't want to interfere with that process. But I think the coach, who kind of plays the role almost like a second assistant director, where they can help see the particulars of that actor and guide that actor through the character. And that is story. That's just as much a story as the locations, the scenarios, the situations, the dialogue, and everything else. It really brings to life that vision, I think.
Well, Gene, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I can't wait to check this out. I know many people are wanting to go ahead and get the ticket to watch it. I understand there's a all-inclusive version where you can also get like people like yourself that kind of educate others, right? And I understand, is there going to be a Q&A on this?
There sure is. I'm participating. Deborah Galels is moderating. Adam's going to be there. One of our young actors, Amaya, whose name means night rain, is going to be there.
Oh.
She was the inspiration for the title.
Even better.
As well as one of our composers, Guy Hoffman of Violent Femmes, Bodine's fame, and the celebrated LA Times writer-editor, Larry Harnish, who is actually the foremost expert on the Black Dahlia murder and the only member of the media the family will speak to. So it's a pretty exciting opportunity to find out things that you never might have known about filmmaking, about the Black Dahlia murder, about the details behind the real person known as Elizabeth Short. And it's just, I think it's a really exciting opportunity.
Well, I'm going to lend you my name. It's called An Exalted One. I think that's a great title. Aaron means exalted one, so you can. There's your next film. All right, just
I love that. I love that.
And if I could be in it, and I could play opposite of Adam, even better. All right, thank you very much for spending time with us here on La Femme Film Festival 2020. We appreciate you. Thank you for adding your great film to the great lineup.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. Great job.
All right, we'll be right back right after this. Stay tuned. Joining us right now, all the way from around the world in all different locations. One which is like, I hope you're not driving. We got Urania del Orbe, Yuriana Slim. I'm going to let you guys introduce yourself. I'm going to mess up the name.
Okay, I'm Urania del Orbe.
My name is Juliana Sleme.
I'm Ale Rubiera.
Okay, awesome. Let's talk about this film because it's kind of making me go send shivers down my spine. La Santera. What does that mean for those that don't, kind of know the whole thing that's out there called, energy?
Okay. Well, La Santera is typical. Well, typically a Santera is kind of like a Latino witch or a Afro-Caribbean witch.
I don't judge. I think we lost her.
So that's kind of like the influence. I don't understand. Okay, here we go. I don't know what happened. All right, and
you're driving. That's what happened. Stay in one place.
Right.
Okay, Juliana, I'm going to throw it over to you. Okay, because you look very sedentary there. Juliana, can you chime in for Yarania? We have a bad connection with her.
Yeah, of course. So La Santera, like she was saying, it's like a Spanish, Latin, African American, Caribbean version of a witch, and it is based on santos and like all of these. It's not really gods, but santos that we pray to, that we believe in, and that we basically make offerings to throughout the year and all of this. And the story is about a family that is a Santera family, and it has a little bit of I don't know if fantasy. Also, it's kind of thrilling, and there's a little bit of suspense, and there's a lot going on. Yeah.
Well, I can imagine because the premise is to save somebody from a predator. I'd be like, hey, can you help me? Right? How bad was this predator in the film? Ale, what about you?
Hi, I'm the cinematographer of the project. And yeah, as Juliana and Gerania were saying, it's an interesting story. I'm Mexican. So for me, it was really great to have that opportunity because somehow being Mexican allows me to, Latin American allows me to understand better and deeply. So that way I can think about lighting or framing wise, like having the background, I think was something interesting for me, so yeah.
Well, I think Yarania is like, I don't think anybody told her it's virtual, so she doesn't have to rush to the movie theater just yet. But really quick, since you're driving and doing this great film, put this. What was it like putting all this team together? Because this team's pretty amazing, I could tell.
Whoa, no, it's amazing team. It was magical. I will tell you this, because even the casting is magical. I did not find Juliana till like the last casting. It was like we did 5 castings, and when she walked in the door, it was like 5 minutes to the close of the actual audition, and I was like, oh my God, I'm never find her. And she walked in, and that was it. I immediately from the connection in the room to her connection to the material and what she brought, it was just magical. It really was. Even shooting, oh my God, the whole experience was magical.
Okay, speaking of magical, that's a great word to describe this film. I'm going to give you guys, because since we've run out of time, unfortunately, each a verb if you want to use it, based on how you're going to feel once you watch this particular project.
Oh, ecstatic.
I like that. That's pretty good. Ale?
Charmed.
Oh, thrilled, I think.
Thrilled. Oh, I love those. Ecstatic, charmed, and thrilled. All right. Well, I know it's all available at the Femme Film Festival, thanks to our friends at sia.live, where you get to see all of your great progress. No, I don't know, but I'm trying there. I'm reaching. All right. Great job. Thank you, each and every one of you, for spending time with us. Yarania, stay in one place, for crying out loud. Seriously. Just stop moving. Stop moving. All right. Just for 5 minutes. That's all we need. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. We'll be right back with more of the La Femme Film Festival 2020 right after this. Joining me right now is Megan Lee and Ami Turunchik. I apologize for the name, but you know what? We're all around the world. Where are you guys tuning in from, by the way? Where are you staying?
LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in Los Angeles.
Well, you know what? Stay safe over there, okay? It's run amok. But let's talk about your project here, the short time-hopping series about the unassailable best friendship between two women, Alex and Olive. No matter what is where it's at. Give me the 411 on this. How difficult was this to put together?
It wasn't difficult, but we both wore a lot of hats on this. So that was probably the most difficult we had. It's actually a web series. It's a 12-part web series.
Ooh, nice.
And each episode has a theme. And in the first half of every episode, it happens in 2008. So you see these two women, Alex and Olive, in their 20s, dealing with whatever the theme of the episode is. And then you see them 10 years later, in their 30s, deal with a very similar theme, but in a very different way. Because, from your 20s to 30s is like wackadoo, totally different. But you see these women grow as individuals over the course of 10 years. You see their friendship evolve, and they're always there for each other. No matter what.
Even better. Those are the best type of friends, no matter thick and thin. Look, obviously a lot of people watching for the very first time the La Femme Film Festival. Have either of you done this before?
La Femme?
Correct.
It's our first time. We're so excited to be part of it. The idea of by women and for women really is in our wheelhouse. So we're pretty excited to be part.
Well, and I'm glad to hear. Look, you both are very talented in your own right. I don't think a lot of people understand what it means when you take the mantle up literally, or you make the mantle from scratch. What are some things that you've learned in the process of doing this? Because, a web series sounds like it's easy, but it's the same type of work you would put into a feature film, or is it?
Yes, I mean, although often with shorter time frames and a smaller budget. And
right.
Like Megan said, we co-produced and co-created, and then we both acted in it as well, and I directed it. So we were kept very busy. But I think we learned a lot on the filmmaking perspective, but also about our subject, friendship. And we went into it like, let's write a story about our best friendship and how it's lasted through these years. And we discovered we still have because working together has its own set of challenges. So we've discovered there's still more to grow and learn in our friendship. So personally and professionally, I feel like we had a lot of growth.
Yeah, and Megan, I got a question for you. I guess the feeling's the same because the love is being spread all throughout, but it wasn't just you two, right?
Oh no, there's a couple male roles who play boyfriends and then husbands, and then the crew. We had a strong female crew in our sound, our editor, our composer. So yeah, a lot of other people behind the scenes for sure.
Well, you know, it takes a village to make a web series or just a series. I just like to say a web, because everything seems to be a web now, right? Like everything's on the internet, right?
That's true.
Pre-COVID-19, I don't think people like wanted to watch so much streaming content as they do now. How cool is that to be able to be on a platform where you can still experience it and still at least, you know, not throw caution to the wind, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's exciting, and it's a chance for people to get to see it in a new way, which is very cool.
All right. So for those that are on the fence to get a ticket to any one of these cool films, I imagine you two and your whole entire team are going to at least want to check out some of the great panels or the great other films other than just your own. Although, shout out to yours. Do you know what day it is?
Yep, it's next Friday, October 16th. We're doing a live Q&A with a moderator at 7 p.m. Pacific. So we're pretty excited about that. Yeah, we're also very excited to check out all the other talented filmmakers and the panels.
Yeah, this today has been like the greatest tease. Like, it's been so fun to watch everybody. I'm like, what's this about? I want to know. These people seem awesome, but I want to watch. So this is great. Thank you for having us.
No, thank you for being part of it. Thank you for lending your talent to the big screen and or the little screen, because even though it's a web like event, you can watch it on the big screen, right?
Oh yeah, however big your TV gets.
Yeah,
I got a surround sound in my head. It's called earphones. Okay, people. Yeah, I appreciate you both. Thank you so very much for spending time with us. Again, go check it out, La Femme Film Festival. I mean, come on, they probably got more series in their heads that they're just waiting to. Right?
Oh my God,
I know it.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Yeah, well, don't vomit it out. You know, speak it into the universe. No vomiting.
It's all
okay?
vomit. It's all vomit.
No, it's no. All right, take me off this thing, Adam.
Thanks, Aaron.
Bye.
Thanks, Aaron.
We'll be right- Joining us right now is Miranda Manziano. And Miranda, I got one question for you. I think I need some information on what is a dominatrix. I have no idea.
What is a dominatrix? It's someone that usually submissives go to, I guess, to submit, and it's someone, usually a woman, who is in a position of power in that session, and they basically plan out a whole session around whatever the submissive's kinks are and whatever they want to do.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even look that up in the dictionary. I had no idea. I'm just kidding. No, I do know. I don't think I'd be good on the receiving end. But the film talk to me about this film and why this particular subject happens to be included in your particular film. What made you want to do and include that?
Well, it's my thesis film for undergrad, and I wanted to do something really personal. So in the film, it's about a woman who is sexually assaulted and seeks out a dominatrix in an attempt to heal from that assault. So like I myself have been assaulted, and this process has been very therapeutic for me. And I wanted to do a story that was like not stereotypical and also like a different form of therapy. So that's why I included BDSM.
Miranda, I'm so glad you talk about this, because I'm not going to lie. I've never thought I've always thought like jujitsu or another type of martial art would be a really good, like, self-empowering thing for somebody that has been assaulted in this way.
Right.
I'm going to be honest. I never even considered saying maybe you should go check out what a dominatrix is to be able to get back your power. But can you kind of speak on that, since I'm on the outside looking in, what your current experience is with that and why you wanted to especially feature that as an alternative version to help a woman find her strength and get control of that strength?
Well, I actually sought out a professional dominatrix, Nina DeVille, who acted in it as Valor. And through her, I learned so much about the community and what exactly she does. And how she describes it is that, like, going to see her and having multiple sessions with her is like a journey. And so through this journey, specifically in the film, Valentina is, like you said, able to take her power back, especially after having it, I guess, taken from her in such a violent way.
Right.
And through that, she realizes that, she doesn't have to self-blame herself for what happened to her, and Valor is able to say that it wasn't her fault, and they get to re-explore intimacy, which is really important for someone who goes through that.
Again, Miranda, I appreciate your being very raw on this. So
Yeah.
many people oftentimes like to talk in the third person, including myself. There's some things I don't like to, throw out there. But since you are being raw right now, you are experiencing something that unfortunately a lot of people around the world, and even third world countries, it's almost accepted. It's really terrible. I just saw something coming from India, and this is a huge topic of the mistreatment of women. And I say to each and every man out there, and or person wanting to seek harm, you know what? You guys need to get a life, because the fact that you would put somebody else in harm's way, ridiculous, stupid, and idiotic. But what's your message to women out there who have been suffering silently?
Just that you're not alone, and that it's going to be a hard journey of healing, but that it's a hopeful one, and just that you're not alone, and it wasn't your fault.
I think that's the biggest one to take away from this. But hey, Dominatrix, again, no judgment. I've never been there, never done that. But for those that want to check out your film and your where can they go? Online, La Femme Film Festival 2020?
Yeah.
Via See Alive?
Yes, exactly. The 15th through the 18th. Yeah. I think we're just we're not doing a Q&A, but I think you can watch it at any time on demand if you pay for the pass. So
even better. Okay, so I'm going to go check that out. Why not? I need a different perspective. I say to everybody, get outside of your bubble, get outside of your way. Don't let things that you think are one thing. In fact, just last question before we let you go. Is there anything that maybe you thought going in that you learned coming out of that situation as far as, learning what it's like to be a dominatrix? Just saying.
Something that I learned from it?
Mm-hmm. Or something that you had a preconceived idea, but then you realize, oh, it's not like that at all.
Oh, definitely. I think a lot of people view doms as being man-haters and really violent, and in reality, they are so consensual and they listen to you, and they're not violent, and they're very empathetic. So they're the most caring individuals out there, I think. So
you know what? You've helped enlighten me and enlighten all of us, I believe. Okay, so thank you very much for spending time with us, Miranda Manziano. Again, go check out her film right there, Velour. Did I get that right?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Velour.
Yeah.
Velour. Check it out.
Thank you so much.
Joining me right now is Sophie Sartain. Sophie, look, Bird Dog Nation talks about a very serious subject, ALS. What was the reason for introducing this into this particular film? Is it a personal tragedy that you know about?
Actually, no, it's one of our, the film is really about activism. And a lot of activists who in 2018 fought to protect the Affordable Care Act. It's a documentary. And one of our main characters is Adi Barkan, who is an activist with ALS. So he spoke at the Democratic Convention recently. He's kind of a big figure out there. So he's one of the anchor characters of the film. Very inspirational guy. And it's really about a group of activists who, following them in 2018 through the midterm election. And Aaron, I don't know if you know it, but we seem to be going through another election right now. So
wait, what? No way. Where is this happening? No.
Yeah.
Really? No.
It's a little bit in the news these days.
Just a little. I can't get away from it. Look, look, democracy means something to the majority of people. And then I find that like people with their rhetoric kind of don't believe in a democracy, if you know what I mean. But, for your own personal, how can I put it? It's such a big topic to be able to put a documentary among documentaries that talk about this very theme. At the end of the day, what is it you'd like for people to really appreciate, but especially about that word, democracy?
Well, that's a big question. I think what the film shows is that when you show up and do little things and work together, you can make change. Because the activists that I follow, their goal was to flip the House in 2018, and they worked together. It was a lot of, just boots on the ground activism. So a lot of it's not very glamorous. It's just showing up. And and you can see as you watch the film that it paid off. It paid off in 2018. So they're out there again now. They're badass. They just keep fighting. So
you almost have to be a badass. Correct me if I'm wrong. There are so many bullies and I'm going to throw this out there. Bullies on both sides. How do you become an activist without becoming a bully to the point where it's going to cause harm to somebody else? Because I think some people on both sides of this camp need a little bit more coaching on what it means to be an activist. And again, not throw your punches literally. I mean, with words is one thing, but you get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of everyone's different and everyone can do their part in a different way. I mean, for some people, it is being that out front, person at the front of the protests, and that's important. But I think a lot of times it's talking to your family members. There's a lot of things going on right now called relational organizing. That's, texting your uncle in Colorado and saying, "Hey, are you registered to vote?" I mean, there's lots of ways of doing it. Lots of ways to have civil conversations and really listen to each other and learn from each other. So, I mean, I think it can present in all different kinds of ways.
I'm not going to lie. I know a lot of activists, and none of them are like, what do I call it? They just don't throw caution to the wind and they might throw verbal punches, which I'm all for. There's some people, presidents that need a little verbal punching back. You know what I mean? I would use him as a punching bag verbally, but never physically. You understand what I'm saying? There's a fine line that I think our nation needs to remember about democracy and what it means for us as a nation. I feel we've gotten so far on either side of the table versus like, hey, let's all come back to the table. And sometimes good activists could be on either side of the table. Am I wrong or right?
Absolutely. And a lot of what my activists, the term bird dogging is a lot about storytelling. So it's sort of like, it's saying, this is my experience. This is what happened to me. And there's something very universal about that. People struggling with health issues, those kinds of things. That's something that anyone could relate to on any side. And it's basically using those personal stories to say to our elected leaders, hey, what you do in Washington, it affects me, and this is why.
More so than any other country. In fact, you're supposed to be the leader of the free world. Why don't you make a free world be an amazing leader for the rest of the world? That's what I always say, but nobody listens to me. Seriously. All right. Look, Sophie, thank you very much for putting this project together. Again, if you want to go get tickets, look for it. It is on the SIA Live platform. We'll put a link attached to this video. Bird Dog Nation is where it's at. Sophie Sartain, thank you for joining me and the other filmmakers on this great virtual day event around the world. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Joining me right now is Julia Fisher-Farbin. Julia, I understand your script needs to be made into something. Audrey's Children, talking about the untold story of legendary oncologist and co-founder of Ronald McDonald House Charities, Dr. Audrey Evans. I'm not going to lie, I don't know that name, but I think I want to.
Well, thank you, Aaron, and thank you so much for having me. I'm shocked nobody else has told this story, and I want to give a shout out to Audrey, who's watching right now. So hello, Audrey. Hope we do a good job today. So as you mentioned, my script is based on the incredible Dr. Audrey Evans, who is not only a revolutionary oncologist, but co-founded the Ronald McDonald House Charities. And the script takes place in 1970 when she arrives at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And unfortunately, at that time, mostly all children with cancer die. And Audrey, like many others, make it her mission to change it, and she doesn't let anything stand in her way. So throughout the course of the film, she creates a staging system that specializes care, and spoiler alert, it has since decreased mortality rates by 50% or more.
Wow.
Yes, for a particular cancer, neuroblastoma.
Wow.
And simultaneously, while she's curing cancer, which is, just a casual day, she also
in her life, right?
In her life, I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, like she's probably like, ugh. Do I have to do? Is there anything else I can do as well? Right? I'm sure she's always busy.
Always. And so she also realized that in order to care for the patient, you also have to care for the whole family. So she decided to create a home away from home for families to stay, which has since evolved into the Ronald McDonald House Charities, which is now in 365 plus locations and has served 8 million families. And so mind you, she did this in 1970 when there were nearly no female doctors. And she was, at the time, women had to get men to co-sign on a credit card. So imagine what that was like to then do all these other amazing things. And let me tell you, Audrey did and still does march to the beat of her own drum. So she is not a quiet woman, and that's what makes her an amazing person and an amazing character to follow.
Neither should she be. Any guy that makes you like, go, hey, so I need to sign on that. Look, I'm the first proponent against men that act stupid, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
And I love the women that have to. Let's face it, okay? Let me just stop for a minute and take off my broadcasting hat and put on my human hat. We've gone through a time with slavery to begin with, right? Women have had to fight so much so they understand what that's like, probably more than any other man out there. And I would venture to say this doctor as well not only has a voice, we need to get her voice in on this broadcast at some point. Is she going to be in the Q&A?
Well, so it's just a script right now.
So what? We need to do this. I'm going to talk to Leslie. Hold on. Okay. Leslie, we got to make this happen. Seriously. I just want a Q&A on this script. Look, it needs to be made. What do we need to do to get it made?
Well, thank you for asking that. So right now, as you mentioned, it's in the script process. I'm now fundraising, speaking with producers. This movie will absolutely get made because I believe in the story with all of my heart. And like you said, we all need role models, particularly female role models like Audrey, because I really do believe if you can see it, you can be it. And I know that sounds so corny, but I just feel like we need hope in the world right now. So if you want to follow what's happening with this story, go to audreyschildren.com. And it's going to be a really exciting journey. And thank you so much to La Femme for having me. I'm so honored. I think it's so amazing to be supporting women and uplifting women and having amazing men like you who are supporting women too. So thank you.
You know what? There's a lot of amazing men out there that are just waiting behind the scenes to do the right thing. And I think Leslie is saying, yes. See, okay, so Leslie, look, let's make it happen. We got to make something happen for this lovely woman. And of course, her amazing subject, because this film needs to be made. We need to hear more of this. It's sad that I know about the Ronald McDonald's Charities, and I had no idea about this story. I know about the founder of McDonald's, which that's a whole other story. But this one needs to be told, needs to be made, and needs to wake people up, especially the dumb men out there. Can we make that happen?
Thank you. And I'm not a man hater, I have to say. Men are wonderful. Men are allies. And I just feel like...
No, I'm talking about the dumb men. Don't do the disclaimer. Dumb men know who they are. They're called the douchebags of the world. I get it. It's okay.
They're not going to be watching this, though. So,
you know what? Yes. They might. You know what I say to them? Get on the same page, okay? Let's bring the money. Let's make it happen. On your crowdfunding thing, we're going to follow you. Thank you for making it a great one right here on the La Femme Film Festival 2020.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. We got with us Becca Hurd. Becca, this film... Hi. I want to jump into this because The Other Side of 25 is a very interesting subject about the challenges that somebody has after becoming the surrogate mother for a sister's baby. This is not a usual topic, but I know of this by several personal family friends of mine. So can you talk about how this came across your table, or did you just think, oh, this is going to make a great film?
I actually, this originated as a one-woman show that I wrote and performed around Australia and the US, and now I've adapted it into this short film. And it's not based on a true story. I don't know anyone who's personally gone through surrogacy, but I was just fascinated by the idea of a woman who doesn't want kids of her own, but then she kind of reluctantly falls into this surrogacy for her sister who does really want kids, but who's unable to have them.
Yeah, you know what, Becca, it's an important subject. You know, everybody's talking about pro-life, anti-life, whatever life you talk about. But when somebody gives in such a way to say, look, I'll be the surrogate, you keep the baby, that's got to be a difficult challenge. I could imagine that opens up more questions and more stories. Maybe is there an additional, because I know this is a short, but is there something going on here that we can, or does it kind of all climax in the end and there's nothing?
Well, you'll have to watch, but there is something that happens where Amory, the character who becomes the surrogate mother, she ends up having to give much more to the cause than she initially anticipated.
Well, and Becca, I think in the tagline it says an irresponsible young woman faces challenges after becoming. So I gotta ask, like, you know, did you have a family friend that kind of fits this mold, or did you write this like in such a way that, like, I wonder where the truth of, because every film has a certain amount of truth that you draw from, right?
Of course, yeah. I think it's a story about surrogacy, but it's also just a story about growing up and becoming a woman and finding out who you are. And I wrote the story when I was turning 25 and was having my own life crisis of 25 is kind of this arbitrary age where everyone expects you to have your, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. I'll say
stuff together, stuff together. It's
everyone
okay.
expects you to have your stuff together.
It's online, but you know, stuff.
And I certainly, when I turned 25, felt like I did not have my stuff together. And so this character certainly does not feel that way either. And it's just juxtaposing those feelings while also doing such a large life-altering favor for someone at the same time.
Yeah, it takes a special person. I know of a few that have done this and given of it, and it's never easy, especially when the birth actually takes place. But, you know, look, Becca, great job on this particular short. What's next for you?
I have written the short. I've adapted it into a feature-length script. So I'm hoping to turn that into a feature film within coming up if I'm able to find producers and people interested in it. And I'm actually currently living in Australia. I just moved to Australia.
Well, look, this is your moment to pitch it to the world really quick. What's it about, and why should people come to you and say, you know what, I'm going to help you make this? Because La Femme Film Festival is all about helping people get their stories told, get their stories out there into the world, and hopefully make some money in the process.
Yeah, thank you to La Femme, and thank you, Aaron. So it's a story about two sisters. So if you are interested in learning more about supporting a story of two sisters and their journey through this very complex but also very hysterical, it's a dark comedy, journey through surrogacy and what that means for them as women, them as people, and them as sisters, definitely hit me up. I'd love to talk more about it.
There it is. Becca Hurd, everybody. Go follow her and go check it out at the La Femme Film Festival. 2020 is where it's at. See ya live. Our great partners over there. Thank you, Becca, for spending time with us here.
Thank you.
All right, joining me now are Cara and Jen. Look, you two are so happy over there, and I can see why. Road to 50 miles. First of all, I can run maybe 3 miles, but 50 miles? It'll take me a month. What's this about?
So Jen, you want to? Yeah. Well, it's about two moms, which is us, who decide to train for and run a 50-mile ultra marathon.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So and why? Why?
Well, that's up to you. That you started this.
So I started this whole thing. I completed a full marathon. I went to a kid's birthday party, and quite simply, a man came up to me at the birthday party, and he said, "What's next? What are you going to do next? Are you going to do a Tough Mudder? Are you going to do a Spartan race? Or are you going to run an ultra?" I said, "An ultra? What the heck's an ultra?" He says, "It's anything past 26.2 miles." And I said, okay. So I did some Googling, and I said, "I'm doing it."
I'd say no. I'm not. You two. I don't know how one got the other to be convinced. What was that conversation like? Hey, I think this is a great idea.
Kinda.
She's a running coach, so I kept thinking to myself, if I'm running this race, why aren't you? It was a lot of everyday pestering.
But she's a really good salesperson. Let's face it.
Well, okay. First of all, I got a lot of questions on this. How do you prepare for an ultra marathon? Do a documentary, figure that part out. Who holds the camera? Who does the running? Or do you swap off while you're running? Is there a steady cam involved? What is? I haven't. You can tell I haven't looked at this, but I need to watch it.
Oh, you need to watch it. Well, the thing is we didn't set out to do a documentary, actually. This was all about her running a race, and she looped me in, and we started planning our training. And we're moms at the same school. Our kids go to school together.
Wow.
Then our friend Brandy, who's also another mom at the school, she's like, "I can't believe you guys are doing this. I have to document it." And she started like a schedule. We knew when we were going to start training, and she's like, "I'm showing up with cameras." But we kind of thought it was going to be like a casual, like a slideshow of us, running. But no, she used to be a producer, and
so
she went for it. She went for it.
She came into our homes. She interviewed us. She watched us. She asked us. Even after a days where we would run 10 miles, she would call us up and say, "Yeah, but you have to run another 5 because I need to film you."
So we left all the camera holding and the filming up to Brandy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it begs the question: is there going to be a part 2 to Road to 50 Miles?
Everybody wants to know that. Well, we are considering at least running the race we did again, because last time it was like pouring rain, or maybe 100, maybe 100.
You know what? I just look in spirit. I'm there with you, and that's about it. Okay, look. But I think you should have like one of those go cams so we can run with you. You know, like when you have because we're all at home trying to figure out can I beat these two? And I need to work out. So you know what? Let's do that the next time. Can you do that?
Check it out. It's inspiring. I think you'll be inspired to go run again.
Awesome. Look, speaking of inspiring, I know we're out of time, but last word. I'm going to let you have it. Why should people check out the La Femme Film Festival? Not only watch your great documentary, but so many others as well.
Inspiration for sure. I think our movie is nice and light, and she's the comedic relief over here. And but I know all the other films are going to be inspiring too. It's going to be a fun event.
And our film, like so many of the others, has been inspired by female empowerment, and I think this will definitely be a great fit.
We have a whole female cast and crew.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, Cara Wilson, Jennifer McMahon, thank you so much for spending time with us. Road to 50 Miles is where it's at. You can get your ticket right now. Go check it out at La Femme Film Festival. We're giving you the link right underneath the whole headline. So there you go. All right, we'll see you guys. Thank you very much, both of you, for spending time with us here. Okay, more after this. Stay tuned. All right, joining us now, Yelita, Ali, and Sophie Max on this fantastic The Whole Truth. Yes. This is a short about a very serious subject. I got to ask, what was the... well, let's talk about this first, and then I'll let you guys walk me through this, because it's a serious subject.
Yeah. So I wrote the film back at the end of 2018. And I think we've had a lot of really important conversations in the last few years around sexual assault and around sexual abuse of women and kind of gendered violence. But I think the one thing that was kind of still a taboo topic was child abuse. And that was not something that I really found to be present in any of those conversations. And I was thinking a lot about it, and I did a lot of research in terms of talking to therapists, talking to lawyers. I went and shadowed a lawyer who was trying a case of this nature. And that was kind of what inspired the film, was kind of looking at these real life stories and just really wanting to raise awareness and create a conversation around kind of that aspect of the conversation, and even more so about creating a story where it's about the aftermath. It's not about the kind of graphic event. That was something that me and Yelita were really was really important
about it, because it was really important that it didn't get dramatized or have kind of that Hollywood treatment and made it into something scandalous or pretty or even sexualized. It was really important to us that we created something that was going to inform people about it, but show the actual brutality of what that kind of thing can cause, especially for young women.
I feel as though there is a lot of misinformation out there about the topic. For the both of you, is there any misinformation that you feel is out there that you'd like to correct right here, right now?
I think what was really important for me, and what is kind of seen in a lot of media, is that this is the end of the road for women. This is the end of their life. And if you look at the statistics of how many women and even how many children go through this, there's no way that 1 in 3, 1 in 4 women in the country, in the world, are, it's the end of their life because of this. It's such a common occurrence, and I wanted to create a story where there is hope and where there is the possibility of healing and the possibility of through relating to each other's trauma, through relating to each other's experiences and having that empathy, that you can actually heal and see a road ahead.
But also ending silence, that you have to be silent about these things, because if it is 1 in 4, that's a really big number. And I think that a lot of people who've experienced this kind of thing might not have the courage or have an image that shows that they can heal from this, because most films depict this as something that's this unconquerable monster that is going to destroy you for the rest of your life, and that you can't reach out and find somebody who'll reach back.
It's funny you say that. I've met a lot of people that have been silent about their own. Sometimes there's a process of being able to heal from within, called finding your inner child, centering, and there's been so many stories of people that I know of that have never come public about any of this, that I would think that number is actually higher than estimated. Those are just those that we kind of can guesstimate. Look. It's no truth to the rumor. I do a daily morning show here at ABC News Radio, and I talk often about pedophiles. I talk about people that abuse, rape, pillage, put people on drugs after the fact. There are some that can move forward, and then there's others that have this huge baggage of rocks. But I feel like your film really kind of lets them know it's okay to have that baggage of rocks if you've gone through it. There's no shame in it. Am I wrong?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think the important thing for me was these characters have different experiences. They have a similar experience, but they have different experiences, and they do different things as a result of it. And they're both equally strong, and they're both equally important, and their stories are equally weighted. Even though they've dealt with it in different ways, one of them has spoken out and one of them hasn't.
But they're both strong enough. There's still that parallel between them of the trauma, but both of them have dealt with it differently, but they're both still coming out the other side. That's important, like Sophie said.
Got it. Okay, it is right there. The whole truth is where it's at. And look, I appreciate you two for doing this. Thank you for spending time with us on La Femme Film Festival 2020. Can't wait to get the ticket to go watch that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, La Femme.
All right, more. Joining us right now is Jen Shaw. Afro is where it's at. It is a script, I understand. And look, I got questions about this, but I think you can answer it for me. There's a hot-headed, untrained bull rider who sets out to take over the male-dominated world of rodeo with somebody's help. Talk to me about this.
Oh, I think that's not Afro.
Oh, you're welcome. You know what? It's been a long day. I'm running on Red Bulls. Did you see
it
this?
Happens. It happens.
I need another. Can somebody else bring me a can? I apologize. Afro is a bullied American African math savant who joins an underground network of people of color that seek cultural justice in their high school by any means necessary. Talk to me about this, Jen.
You got it. So Afro is a pilot that I developed after the short film Afro that's been circulating film festivals we have going. And it's really a project that is so relevant right now. And it talks about kids growing up, I think, in a more diverse society. But sometimes if you live in pockets of America that are more, that are more whiter and they're not used to diversity in gender and diversity in like background, you're in a pocket. And so I really developed like this script is how I grew up. I grew up in Kentucky and developed it into a journey of a young woman who's super smart at math, but social skills are not too great. And she ends up not only changing her hair as a political statement to an afro after an altercation, but getting recruited by an underground social justice group called Code Switch that takes her into a whole new way of looking at who she is and how she has to grow up. So it's fun, it's a comedy, and I'm really loving it.
Well, and Jen, you take a very serious subject and you make it into a comedy. It's always a great way to kind of, what I call, it's not really preaching from the pulpit. It's just kind of getting people to wake up and go, what's wrong with our culture? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've seen this in the news a couple of times, and I each and every time it makes me a little upset, mad, and angry. But we're kind of a country really mad and angry, if you know what I mean. Why should people go check this out and have a few laughs at the same time while discussing a very serious topic?
Yeah, because, we all go through this. We all have to find ways in this world as we move through it, whether it be a woman or someone of a different background. However you move through this world, you're judged. And people assume certain things about you. And I think having a fun way to unpack all those microaggressions you might experience as someone as considered maybe like different is important. You got to laugh or we just sit around and cry all day. Like, this world's crazy. So
I don't sit around and cry. I say, let's stand up and let's not throw the fists, but let's throw the words out so that people are, especially the younger generation. Do you feel that the younger generation is kind of like just trying to catch up, or that they're already well ahead of the rest of us?
Oh man, I can't say enough. I'm a millennial, and this younger generation is impressive. I think they're just growing up like around each other, and they're more accepting and open, and they're the most diverse I think we've ever had in America. So I think even around the world, I'm really proud to just see these kids come together. I mean, I feel like as a whole, as a country, we have a lot of work to do. No lie, but I'm really impressed, and I do think I'm optimistic about how future generations can start looking at people and being more open and just really being a better society as a whole.
Well, I want to say thank you for spending our time with us. Jen, again, of Afro, which is a fantastic script needs to get forward on this. For those tuning in right now, what can you say to the scriptwriters out there that are wanting to get their script made?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right your way. I'm a director, and I direct a lot for different networks and different commercials. And for me, really it was all about just writing what you know. So don't try to do anything too crazy. It's and then take things as step by step as you can, maybe not write a feature at first, write a short story and kind of expand from there. So baby steps, do it in your own time, and definitely write what you know and write what makes you passionate about it.
I like that. All right, go check it out. Afro, again, really cool stuff. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Joining us right now is Katrina Gray and Randy Kelsey. Good day to you two.
Hi.
I understand. Look, the headline, Daytime Nightmare, I got questions that need to be answered. Maybe you can help me.
Okay.
Lucy's life spirals out of control when her own mind turns against her and her nightmare become her daymares. That just doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be psychological thriller and not comedy. Yes, correct.
Okay. Look, Katrina, Randy, obviously you two got together on this with a host of other people. What made you want to do this particular project?
It's really kind of based on my real life, if I could say, and it follows my own real nightmares. I wanted to recreate in form of a movie, and it deals with the nightmare disorder and schizophrenia, so very psychological topics.
I know the discussion very well. My stepfather suffered from schizophrenia. Actually, I should say he still actually has bouts with it. Look, never an easy subject to tackle. What was that like bringing that into the film sector of the world? And especially when you're so raw about it, sometimes people have they just don't understand, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically that's exactly the reason why I wanted to make this movie, so people can see it from different point of view, because the story follows, it's seen from the point of view of Lucy. So that's why it's a daytime nightmare, because you can experience everything, all the nightmares coming into her life in the daytime as well, and it all blends in together, and you can experience it literally from her own point of view and feel it even more real, and maybe help. So, maybe that way it can also help others to understand this topic and relate to it, or maybe someone can relate to it in any level and find something in it for themselves.
Well, Randy, I got a question for you because you're kind of silent over there, letting her take the whole interview from you. But before we go, I want to hear from you. This project, working with her and on this project, what were you able to bring that you felt you needed to be brought?
Yeah, so I took care of the full sound post-production and the score, sound effects and everything. And we worked closely together to make sure that, the feel and everything was there, and that we could make the most out of the feeling for that. So, yeah, it was...
Plus, he has the role in the movie as well.
Yeah.
So he's one of the actors as well.
Even better.
Yeah.
No, look, Katrina, Randy, I know we're running out of time, well beyond my time limit here, but I want to ask this really quick. Obviously, dealing with a subject that is so near and dear to your heart, what would you like for people to at least take away from this? I mean, it's a psychological thriller, so I don't know that people are going to be like, like all understanding, but maybe is that in the next film that you're working on, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm hoping that people can find something for themselves in it and can relate to it. And so that's my genre thing. So horror, thriller, that's my genre. And my other projects as well are going to be in a very similar genre. So, yes.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Randy, for allowing her to speak the whole time, if you know what I mean. Music is kind of important, Katrina. You need to, give him a little bit, or maybe you need to lend us some of the audio. Is there going to be a soundtrack?
Yes, for sure. I mean, it would not be nothing. The movie wouldn't come out the same way if it was not for Randy's music and original score. So that really helps.
Katrina, that message was meant for Randy. Stop taking his light seriously.
Yeah,
all right.
Soundtrack. Yeah, for sure. It was all original score and original music, and even the end credits. There's this beautiful song, which was produced by me for a client of mine, which we licensed to the film. Yeah, so it's all original work.
All right. Well, I love that the both of you are so lighthearted, because hey, in coronavirusville, we all got to be a little bit happier, right?
Yeah. For sure.
All right. Thank you both for lending your
Thank you
project
for
to the
having
La
me.
Femme Film Festival. Again, we will see it this coming week. It's a whole 4 days of fun. Come and check it out.
Amazing.
La Femme Film Festival. I will be right back right after this. We got with us somebody over there that has a really cool project, and it's one that I've got questions on because, well, they salivate, and I need to know, why do they salivate a lot? Heidi James, good morning. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I sure can. Look, Heidi, actually, I apologize. I completely got you out of Deadshot Girls. Let's start over. Okay.
I love it because actually you gave me branding now with Red Bull.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There it is. Here, let me do it again. No, I'm just kidding. Look, we've got with us Heidi James of Deadshot Girls. It's a script, America's legendary cowgirls throughout history. I love cowgirls because there's a certain toughness there that you won't find with other women, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. And I'm getting a double. I'm hearing you twice. Is there any way to fix that?
No, just roll with it.
Okay. So we have our main cowgirl in the present day. She's a hot-headed, untrained female bull rider. She's looking to take over the world of the male-dominated world of bull riding, but she's not alone. She has spirits, guardian spirits called the Deadshot Girls, and that's a title that was given to women of the Wild West, women who could ride, rope, shoot. Oftentimes they were suffragettes. They were the first landowners in this country. They were definitely the first female athletes. And they come to her in mythical visitations and guide her through this male-dominated world of bull riding.
I love it. I used to watch, seriously, as a very young child, I would watch the clowns that would try to, get the distraction. But oftentimes the one riding the bull was the one that was because they're all trying to save the one, right? So I got to ask, I mean, were the bulls animated in this feed? I haven't seen it, so I need to watch it, is my point. Or are these real bulls?
I'm actually a finalist for the screenplay, for the pilot script of this series. So
you're going to do the real thing is my question.
I see it in definitely having some animation. I'd like to steer away from using live bulls as much as possible. And there is incredible footage, real footage from the earliest days of bull riding with some of these women riding to draw on, as well as modern day bull riders. So there's stock footage to use. There's animation like they did in the Netflix documentary series about bull riding. I don't know if you saw it, called Fearless. It was amazing.
Not yet.
Yeah, but the main thing is that we get to exalt these women from the past and learn these stories that have just never been dramatized on screen before. That's the really exciting part of it.
Well, Heidi, look, I've done the bull riding, like the bull thing that they and I stayed on for at least a good 50 seconds. Mm-hmm. That was my alt, and it was, you're welcome. I know. Yeah. Which I don't know if that's standard or if the guy was going easy on me. But look, at the end of the day, you are a fantastic filmmaker in your own right, and I feel you got many projects just waiting to be done in your head. Why is it so important to be a part of a film festival, by women, for all?
Well, we're all kind of bull riders in a way, aren't we? We're fearless, we're courageous, we're jumping on that bull, we're getting trampled in the dirt, and what are we doing? We're getting right back on. And that's what we have to keep doing as artists, as creators. We have to keep believing, keep getting back on, no matter how injured and broken we are, and using those broken parts of us in our next creation to inform, to enlighten, and to evolve. That's my mission.
I love that you use that analogy, and I like to say nobody's ever broken. Your light just gets dimmed a little, but it's still there. We have to ignite it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And part of the theme of this is built around my main character's PTSD, because I did go through 9/11, living in Manhattan. And when I came back to the project after 10 years of struggling with PTSD, I incorporated it into the story. So the only time she feels peace and she feels stillness is on the back of a bull, is in the middle of the chaos. So there's a lot of layers in there, and I hope it gets a chance to be introduced to the world.
I think you should be like the next one on astronauts, because I feel like these anybody that can ride a bull could be okay, let's take this space shuttle to Mars and beyond, right?
Absolutely. Bull riding on Mars.
Why not? Okay. Heidi James, again, Deadshot Girls. She wrote the script, has to be done. I can't wait to see the real bulls. I mean, you know what? Look, I'm not going to sign up for this. If there's a casting call, I'm not going to be a part of it. That's all I got to say. Again, I can't go over 50 seconds. All right, people, thank you very much. Again, thank you and congratulations on your great job there. We can't wait to see more from you, okay?
And you can check it out on the website, and it has all links to the Twitter, Instagram, and all that.
Even better. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to go stalk you now. Is that okay?
Thank you. I hope so.
There's a movie about it. You don't want stalkers, so I'll be a good stalker. All right. Heidi James, everybody. We'll be right back right after this.
Thank you.
Joining me right now is somebody with a very interesting title, one of which just making me salivate, but it's only because they salivate. Joining us right now is Ariane Booker.
Yes.
Ariane, look, interesting title, more interesting discussion. Why do they salivate?
Hi, have you seen the movie?
Not yet. There's like 150 plus. I'm still trying to get caught up on 3.
They salivate because it's a story of a kiss, of a last kiss, and this kiss is wrought and being poisoned and shared between the people, and the people will a lot salivate. So.
Okay. Well, look. Obviously, I got a question. Is this? They say art follows real life, or is it real life that follows art? Is there any type of real life situation that made you say, you know what, I need to do this and put this into a project?
Yes, I had to make this film because I had a strong desire for someone I loved, and I can't tell it to him, so I had to expose it in some way. And it was like that. It was just with saliva. I can only say it with saliva, with pictures, not words. It was a gesture of desire.
Can I ask you what your first language is?
French. I'm French.
And in French, how is it pronounced?
Il salive.
Okay, see, that sounds prettier than it does to salivate. But look, because I'm salivating right now, but because I'm hungry, not because I want to kiss. My point is this, Ariane, obviously, look, you're being surrounded by women filmmakers, all in their own right, geniuses. I understand putting this project together is sometimes not an easy feat, especially when it's sometimes an upward battle. What I mean by that is just funding. Did you find that to be the case, or was it pretty easy?
To do that film, it was terrible. It was really, really hard because I had many fights against myself because it was tough to do that thing. It was tough to ask for my actors, my team, to do what I wanted them to do, because I asked them to kiss them, to spit on them, to fight, and I don't want to ask them that, but I really need to do it. And I have no money.
Ariane, look, I can tell you right now, if you put me in the room and as long as they don't have coronavirus and we get tested, I'm not going to fight the whole salivating after kissing scene. I'm pretty sure that was the easy thing for the actors, or was it not?
Yes, but for me it was hard to ask. Them, they were okay. They were really okay. But
of course. Yeah, it's a
maybe
thing.
This is why I've asked that. Maybe this is why I wanted to do that movie.
I think so. And you look, everybody can check it out. It is a short. Again, any ideas of making this into a feature? Because there's been a couple shorts that have premiered at the La Femme Film Festival, which have been made into a feature.
Yes, I have a feature, of course, and about the same idea, but in longer.
Fantastic. For those that want to follow you in your great career, and if, I don't know, they want to apply for your next film, I don't know if there's going to be more kissing involved, just saying.
Maybe, but this short has a tremendous career in USA and would be in Chicago Film Festival and AFI this month. So it's great.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ariane. Thank you, and to the love letter to your to the guy. He better wake up. I'm just saying.
He doesn't know it.
Well, he bet. What's his name? Really quick.
No.
Come on, initials.
No.
Initials. You know the guy's watching. He's like, oh, I think she's talking. Watch, you're gonna have like 20 men all of a sudden hitting you up. All right, Ariane. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone!
Hey.
Welcome to La Femme. How are you all?
Hi.
Hey there, doing great. Good. So let's talk about the Uncanny Valley. Who wants to go first?
Liz.
I do. Go, Liz.
I would call it a dark tale of female empowerment, where a woman who's been a doormat takes a pill that numbs her brain so she can stand up for herself.
I think we're having trouble with the audio.
Okay. Perhaps it's playing back on Carlos. I can put headphones in.
Yeah, I think it's resonating through the room.
Yeah, it's reverbing, Liz.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go get headphones.
Carlos.
Yes.
I'm the actor in the film.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. So what was the question again?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
So tell us about the film.
Well, this is a movie about women who finds empowerment through a pill that takes away empathy in order to deal with a complicated husband. And that's, I would like basically to have Kimberly talk about it more because she did an amazing job leading the cast.
Mm-hmm.
So
now it seems like with this film, there's kind of a clash, and the men and the women both have that alpha personality. So what made you guys think of this?
Well, I came up with the idea because I was noticing that in our society today, we have really celebrated a lack of empathy, and there are a lot of people who have been very successful through cruelty, through blaming others, and sometimes I've felt that as a person raised female, I've been in a disadvantage because I've been raised to be a bit more nurturing or to understand how other people are feeling. But I think empathy is really important. So that's kind of how that scenario came to mind.
Right. So did you, with your main character, did you see that maybe you didn't want her to be so bitchy?
Well, maybe
I mean, she lost her empathy, right, throughout the film. But did you kind of make her a little empathetic with the removal of empathy? Did you still keep her empathetic, like to continue with the storyline?
I want to hand that one over to Kimberly because Kimberly actually got to embody this woman and was such a big part of building the character. So I don't know, what would you say to that?
I mean, I would think so. Of course, always as the actor, I want to assume that I've remained empathetic the entire time. But I think, part of it, and in terms of her journey, is just that without the pills that kind of remove the empathy, she has to go back to being that really kind of sad, broken person, and to have to go back to that place is deeply troubling for her. So there is a bit where I think you want her to not have the empathy because I think you enjoy seeing what's happening to her as she's getting all of her power back.
Yeah, so it seems like she's going through a battle, right? Mm-hmm. Of, hey, I want to be empathetic, but at the same time, I still want to be this dominating woman. So is there anywhere where we can find your screening right now, aside from the film festival?
Yeah, well, we've been in a few. So, at this point, we're not widely available online, but of course, we're in La Femme. We just screened in a drive-in in Scream Fest. We'll be in Horror House soon. So there will be a number of screenings.
Perfect. And tell us where we can find you online.
We have a website for Into the Uncanny Valley film, and all of our social media is on there.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you everybody for being with us, and we look forward to seeing your screening. Okay.
Thanks so much.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, Miriam.
Hey, Marta, what's up?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Where are you joining us from, Miriam?
LA.
So you're local here.
Yeah.
So far away.
Yeah.
So Miriam, tell us about Estilo Americano.
Well, first of all, I want to say it's great to be back at La Femme. I was there with Green Card Warriors in 2014. And
Nice.
so it's
Welcome
awesome.
back.
Yeah, for Best Director, and Leslie was great. So it's really awesome that she chose our film again. So Estilo Americano, I wanted to do something that's more political. We live in such a, controversial, difficult time. And as an artist, you want to use your voice to address things that are going on. I have a lot of Latino friends, and there's some really difficult conversations going on. Lots of families being divided by politics. And it's kind of like a hush-hush thing, and I just want to bring it out in the open. So we put a great story together and a beautiful ensemble cast with really, some of the top Latino actors around, and who share, obviously, this vision and wanting to be vocal about, how divided people are in these current times, and also, stereotypes and people being judged. I mean, a lot of my work goes about unseen people in society and stories that I feel need to be highlighted, And I also wanted to do something about a middle-class Latino family that's not being represented in the media and entertainment. We see the stereotypes, the day workers, the maids, and this is about educated people, which is the majority. Let's see them. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about those. Let's not just talk about the immigrants and the poor Latinos. Let's talk about the middle class. So now, most Hispanic families are very knit together. So how, in your film, how do they translate into this family with opposing views? Tell us more about that.
Well, you see that this is a very close family, right? And we all know we don't agree with everyone. I don't have any siblings, unfortunately, but
maybe fortunately.
Right? Maybe fortunately. But you see immediately, like, the chemistry between the peoples there. You believe that this is a family. And, it's a Thanksgiving dinner, and slowly things escalate. And also there's a twist at the end of the story, which is something that nobody knew. And in a way, like, being open and sharing your vulnerabilities, and this little secret brings everyone closer together. But, a lot of Latino families are very close, but it doesn't mean you agree with it. And I have many friends that struggle with this, like, okay, so we don't talk about this or whatever. Maybe I don't go over, maybe we don't all go together. But then again, it's a conversation that happens at many tables, USA. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like we see that a lot now, especially with our politics going on.
Yeah.
We see the clash in families and their thoughts and their views. So where can we see your screening, and what day can we see it on La Femme?
It's on Saturday at La Femme, and then we're doing another screening with Los Cortes after the festival. Obviously, this is very important for us. And we were at Urban World 2 weeks ago in New York. So, we're pushing this because it's like people got to vote. People got to look at each other, recognize each other, and we got to make this society better. And we all got to come together regardless of our differences.
This is the time to come together. This
Exactly.
is such an important time.
Yeah.
So Miriam, where can we find you on social media?
estiloamericano.net. And then we have our Instagram is estiloamericano.film. And I'm the Dutchie doing all this stuff. So
Perfect. Well, Miriam, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Leslie.
Film.
Thanks the team, and thanks my filmmaking team and actors for telling this story.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good luck.
So funny.
Hi, Emily.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. There you are, boy mom.
Doing the thing.
Oh my goodness. I love this trailer. It was hilarious.
Aww.
So I have a bunch of daughters. So watching this was absolutely hilarious and amazing. So tell us a little bit about your film.
Oh my
Boy
goodness.
mom.
Well, my mom had a bunch of daughters, which means I was raised with all girls. And so it was such a surprise for me to have boys. I can't even tell you. And so parenting boys, just parenting in general, all of the challenges that have come up for me, but boys in particular. And, you know, I wanted to dig pretty deep in terms of, you know, a moment where it changed me as a mom to have these boys. And what a gift in the end it's been. I mean, in the end, he's cool, you know, but
and I love how you show the struggles of just being a parent, just period, right? Aside from being either a boy mom or a girl mom, just that struggle of like, gosh, I look tired today. I'm tired today. And then your mom, when you asked her that question where, hey mom, do you remember us spitting on your face? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
So what made you write a film about boys, being a boy mom?
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. I had given up my my career as an actor as soon as I found out I was pregnant because I had booked the role of a lifetime as a mom. That's where I was with it. I was done. I was going to be a stay-at-home mom and just do that. And I would be totally fulfilled. They would fill every void that could possibly be inside of me. I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah. Go ahead, honey. You're not going to join me.
Hey.
And you know, I just remember telling my mom, just saying, Mom, like you made it seem like it was so fun all the time. You know, what the heck is this? And you know, she said, well, if I would have told you, then I'd never get grandchildren.
Oh my gosh.
How hard it was, then who knows, you know? But so, yeah.
So now in the grand scheme of things, are you glad you're a boy mom?
Yes, I am. And I think my oldest son is watching. So hi, sweetie. From
Hi.
the front yard. No, it's been amazing. I mean, they teach me so much. Like I said, it's been such a gift. I learn from them every day. I learn about myself every day. Like I said, like this was not at all what I had you know, thought motherhood would be.
It was
assumed I would have girls, you know?
Yes. And it was such a heartfelt trailer. It just immediately caught me, and it just pinched my heart. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cute. I just loved it. Everything about it was just warm and exciting. And, you know, it just took me back to when I babysat my sister's kids, all boys. So I'm like your mom, like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah. So like, what do I do with you guys?
Exactly. Because I didn't know I have all girls. So it's just, what do I do with you kids? So Emily, tell us about where we can find your screening. What day on La Femme?
Yes. It will be screening on Sunday afternoon. That's October 18th at 2 p.m. It'll be its virtual premiere, so it'd be fantastic to, have people from all over come and see it. It's very exciting that they can just sit there in their own homes, wherever they are in the world, and watch. It's really exciting, and we've got big things ahead for Boy Mom as well. I've continued to dig really, really deep in terms of what it is, and we're mixing comedy with darkness.
It's an amazing project. Amazing project. It really is. So thank you so much, Emily. And we look forward to watching this.
I know. Thank you. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day, everybody.
Bye, Emily.
Hi. Can you hear me? Oh, sorry.
There we go. How are you, Annie?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you.
Awesome. Where are you joining us from?
I'm currently in Taipei, my hometown, and yeah, it's really nice to meet you over live stream. Yeah.
I know. You can be anywhere in the world and we can all connect together.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to La Femme. Now tell us a little bit about your film Glitches.
Yeah, so Glitches follows the story about a young man who, at the darkest moment in his life, he finds an unexpected connection with a mysterious woman, and the chance meeting kind of caused him to rethink his approach on life, and ultimately connect him to the lonely and numb-world that I think we let all reside inside of us somehow.
So I noticed that they kind of lived in the same building. Am I able to say that? Am I allowed to say that?
So the man meet this woman in an airport lounge when he was waiting for their delayed flight, and they have this very intimate conversation, which kind of both change their perspective on life.
Oh, perfect. And so what made you write this film?
Yeah, so I've always been just naturally drawn to stories about strangers, and I think as a society, we are experiencing a gap between the haves and the have-nots that is as divided and disconnected and as it's ever been in the world, both metaphorically and literally, because of COVID. And I think in regards to my film, the environment obviously is the modern world, and the two characters, they are just kind of both victims of modern life. And I think like in America, we are sold this idea of the American dream, like the drive for greed is built into the kind of fabric of who we are as a country. And well, I think, I just really hope the story can deliver the message to the audience. That would be the goal. Yeah.
Okay. And exactly what message do you want to deliver to the audience?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think in the end, I kind of want to make a statement that we should help each other, that we should learn to brave and embrace the unfamiliar. And that's the whole idea about the strangers. You can just walk into an airport, waiting for your delayed flight and meet a complete stranger who told you a very bizarre story about causing a fatal fire. And that can kind of make you rethink, in regards to my film, both the characters have kind of the same busy life, and in a way we're all connected, and we should just learn to help our neighbors. We should learn to help those at our gate.
Yeah, absolutely. Instead of judging each other, let's just come together and make it work. Absolutely. So Annie, where can we find your screening and what day on La Femme?
I could look that up, I think, but yeah, it will be like a virtual screening, and it will have, I will do like a live Q&A, and I'm very excited for that. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Annie. It was great having you, and good luck with the film.
Great talking to you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Annie.
Hello.
Hi, Marav. How are you?
Hi, Martha. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Where are you joining us from?
Israel.
Wow, from the other side of the world. Welcome.
Correct.
Well,
Yes.
the good thing about doing this through virtually is that we can connect from anywhere in the world, right?
It's correct, and it's beautiful.
So, Merav, I want you to tell me about Code of Practice.
Okay, just a little correction. I'm not Merav. My name is Ron.
Okay.
I'm the post-producer of Code of Practice.
Okay, hi, Ron. My apologies.
It's all right. It's okay. It's for technical reasons. Merav couldn't join us. Yes. So Code of Practice. It's a thriller, directed and produced by Merav Urman, and it tells the story of a young therapist who goes to a youth boarding school to help there with therapy, and she finds out that the therapeutic team over there is involved in some kind of a dangerous cult, and so she herself is in danger.
Oh, wow. So are you able to tell us what type of cult?
Well, I'd like to leave some of that to the viewers, but basically it involves some dark faiths of the leaders in that.
Yeah, it sounds like it tackles a really heavy subject. Are you able to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Merav herself was a therapist, and she thought that in reality some of the methods were either old-fashioned or could use some change. And she thought this could be an interesting story to tell.
Absolutely.
And she went on writing it, and it developed into this film.
Right. Is there a certain message that you guys wanted to send out to the viewers?
Well, talking to Merav, when we discussed the film, she always said something about it was important for her to convey the message that always question your beliefs and patterns. Wherever you are in your life, it's always a good idea to question everything, basically.
Absolutely.
Not just to hold.
Absolutely. So, Oran, where can we find you on the film festival? What day for the screen?
Well, the film will screen on the 17th.
Okay.
And it will be 11 a.m. Pacific time. And I think it's 9 p.m. Israeli time. If anyone's interested. And,
will you be hosting any Q&As?
Yes, that same hour.
Same hour?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Just before the film.
Where can people find a little more information about the film, and then can find you on social media?
They can look up Merav Urman on Facebook. Is her name? It appears right here. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
So that's the way you spell it, and you find her on Facebook. If I may add something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Merav reached me. She needed someone to finalize the film in the post-production process. And I was amazed with the fact that she did everything by herself. It's her second film that she made. It's her first feature film. And
wow.
She produced and shot everything by herself. And it was really inspirational. So
Hardworking women.
yes,
That's
amazing.
amazing. I love to see that. Well, thank you so much, Ariane, and thank you so much for being a part of this film as well.
Thank
We
you,
love
Martha.
having you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Take care.
You too.
That's right. I'm here with Paulina Michaels, and Paulina, you are doing some pretty cool stuff over there. Paulina, obviously, I'm wanting to see if we can hear you. First of all, I think we have, I think we need her mic unmuted or something. Stuff. Can't unmute your guests because they chose to mute themselves.
Very embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can you hear me now?
Oh no. Okay, we got something technologically trying to catch up. Let's hold on, Paulina. Maybe it's the internet trying to. You're joining us from what country?
I am joining you today from Argentina, all the way from Buenos Aires. Hola.
Okay, well, Buenos Aires needs to work on their internet. Okay, we're gonna let's see if we can reconnect you, and we'll be right back with more right here with Paulina Michaels. Let's see if we can get her connection a little bit better. It might need to log out and then log back in. Okay, Paulina?
Sure, of course.
Okay. We'll be right back with Paulina. But if you're just joining us right now, we have a place that you can go right here, right now. It is online, and it is to our big ticketing booth. Yes, we don't have a typical box office like everybody else. We have a better box office. That's right. It's the La Femme International Film Festival, and you can check it out. It is right there. Here's some of the movies that are available that you can go check out right here, right now. You can see each and every one of them, the synopsis here. A lot of them have what they call preview parties, which is just a better fancy term for saying it's like a virtual meetup all right there. You can get your tickets. It's cia.live. That's cya.live channel La Femme Home, okay? And you're going to see all the great stuff. You're going to see our great trailer right there, the all-access pass, the film pass, the panel pass, and single tickets. Something for everyone, quite literally. And it's definitely one that you should probably all really have some, I don't know, like a family-friendly viewing. Why not? You know, and get everybody in there and have them all chip in. Why not? It's the all-access pass. I personally recommend that, especially because you have access to every single film and then some. Plus, the panels themselves. I mean, look at the deal you get. For $29.99, you get a panel pass. That gets you into just 6 panels. And for just an additional $20 more, you get access to all these great films, and you support a great organization known as the La Femme Film Festival. Again, this is the 16th year. Normally, we're very used to going and getting everybody, going to the Regal Cinema in LA, but this is the first time we get to see all of these films, no matter from what part of the world you're in. So we definitely love the fact that you guys are joining us and doing so in such a great way. Paulina, you're there with us.
Yes, I'm back on. How is my connection now?
I don't know.
It's better.
Buenos Aires, Argentina needs. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so.
That is horrible.
I know, you sound like Max Headroom right now. Maybe it's your headset. Maybe we just need to, take it off the headset. Or maybe it's the data. I don't know. Yeah, we'll work on that. Sorry, guys. Again, this is technology at its finest. We love it, and then sometimes we love it as well. But I'll try to get Paulina there, because Paulina and I go way back. She did the film festival, I think, about 2 years ago with our great panel, and we did it to where it was on the red carpet. Kid you not, 5 hours straight in heels. I would never do it. Paulina does it with a smile, by the way. Right, Paulina?
It was amazing. How is my voice now? Much better? Oh my goodness.
Much better.
I'm sorry. It's not Buenos Aires. It's Apple.
It is wherever it needs to be. Okay, cool. Paulina, again, thank you. I'm so glad. I was like, no, we can't bump her because she's amazing. And obviously some filmmakers coming up around the corner. We got to take a quick break. Paulina, I'm going to hand the torch over to you. I'll be back at the end so we can sign off together. Okay, Paulina?
Of course. And our guest is here, I assume.
Yeah, so let's go to a break. Adam will take us to a break and then we'll come right back.
Hello.
Hi, Christiana. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Because I do have sometimes an issue with names.
No, it's perfect. It's Cristiana. I'm
Christiana,
Italian.
stay with you and your movie, The Gods of Summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us a little bit about it, because for those who don't know about it, what is the plot of the movie? It's a short film, right?
Yeah, it's a short. It's a thriller drama, and it's about a young girl during a summer vacation falling in love with a guy for the first time. It's like the first big love, and losing the love of her life at the same time. So, well, I can't spoil too much, but it's there is a mother, and there is a story of friendship and passion and all the ingredients of the thriller. But it's like an excuse to talk about also, I think, not just the losing of love, but also loneliness, and how our brain sometimes can face the reality and bending the reality. So it's a lot about our vision of the world, that sometimes is totally different from what reality is. This is I think, like what I want to tell more. It's like the deeper level. It's the reality that it's always different from what other people see.
Many layers in one layer of the movie.
Yeah.
So did I hear you right? There's a murder in this movie as well?
Yeah. And from the trailer, it's really evident. Yeah, there is a murder, and you have to. Yeah, you have to, what?
What inspired this movie?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
What inspired this movie?
I wrote the story in my first book because I write short stories, and this is my first story ever. The inspiration of the story was, I think, a summer vacation. It's totally invented, clearly, but it's a summer vacation between friends, because I think everyone experiences teenager and friendship and summer, and so this is a story about that. And the only side is like, to give a thriller nuance to the story.
And where did you shoot this movie? I saw in the description it's
in
LA.
Venice.
Really?
Yeah, LA, Venice. Yeah, in Venice Beach, and I'm from Rome, so it's been a trip, but it was great. Now I'm currently in Rome.
Oh, you're currently around. Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
amazing. You can join us from there. And how
Yeah.
did you do your cast? Did you cast them in Los Angeles, or how did you do that?
I did almost everything there. I just did some prep here a couple of months earlier, and then I spent a couple of months there casting and doing everything, and production and post-production too. Yeah, I did almost everything there.
That's amazing. And do you know which of the day of the festival this movie will be screening at?
We'll be screening during all the duration of the festival. I didn't plan the party because of the jet lag and time. It was a bit complicated, but it will be there all the time.
Was it difficult for you to include this whole big story? It's a drama and it's a thriller in 17 minutes, I think, right? If I'm correct, so it's 17
Yeah,
minutes.
it's correct. And I think this is a really like a condensed movie. It's not the classic short that sometimes is like a little episode of something, or like you can go deep in something really short. This is like a little movie in 70 minutes.
Well, we're very excited to watch it. And thank you so
Thank you.
much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Hi, Maria. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you could unmute yourself, I made the same mistake. Perfect. Welcome. Welcome.
Hi,
You're
thank you for having me.
today with your script.
Yeah.
Anything for my bestie.
Yeah.
When I read the name, I thought that it's a comedy, but then I read a description and I was completely wrong. So please tell us a little bit about it. What is it about?
Okay, so Anything for My Bestie is actually a feature screenplay. It's a thriller. It's a suspense thriller. And of course, it features women. It's about two middle-aged females who are best friends, obviously. And they sort of become estranged, a little bit distant after a few years. After one is divorced and single, no children. The other one is married with 5 children, where she suddenly gets jilted by her arrogant husband for the au pair. And so it brings the two best friends closer together because the single one is, very supportive of her and trying to get her children back from her because the husband also took the children with him. He was a very nasty, abusive man. So, he basically rakes his soon-to-be ex-wife through the coals and, through a nasty divorce battle. And meantime, her best friend is just sort of sitting back and painfully watching her just get berated and, really hurt and not knowing what to do. So with that said, she decides she's going to do her best friend a favor and secretively take revenge for her best friend.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, she takes action on the revenge, and there's that starts like a whole series of twists and turns and things like that.
Ask you if it's based on a true story. I really hope not, because I really hope not.
No, it's not based on a true story.
But you to write this, because this is a very, I know of course we all heard of those scenarios in real life, unfortunately, but what was your inspiration behind it?
My inspiration actually is a very good friend of mine went through a nasty divorce battle. Not this kind of divorce battle that is in the script, but she did go through a nasty divorce battle, and we we leaned on each other a lot. I gave her a lot of support. She had said to me one day, I just want to go slash his tires. And I said, yeah, you know, like I would love to do that. Because he just was.
Did you do that?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't. But based on like thinking back, I said, for, you know, a concept, I'm thinking, what if I actually did that? What if the best friend actually went through with it? And so that created a flood of ideas and, you know, thoughts, and and there came the script.
What is your plan with the script? What are the next steps that you're taking right now to make it a reality, to make it happen, to create it?
Right now, I'm looking for a production company to take it on and make the film. I already made one of my own films called Offstage Elements, and I would love to make another film. But as far as like, I'm definitely looking for investors or production company to go ahead and take it on themselves and put their own creative magic into it. I would love to stay on the creative team as well, and, you know, continue to be part of the writing team.
Well, I'm wishing you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
I'm sure it will happen. And thank you so much for joining us today, Maria.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Hello, Christian.
Hello, how are you?
And Jeff. Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. So excited to have you. What a beautiful name of the movie. I really loved it from the beginning. Can you please tell us about it? It's a documentary, and what is it about?
Sure, it's a documentary. It is the story of D-Day, but from the perspective of the French, told from the point of view of a female filmmaker. So we explore what happened at D-Day. 20,000 French civilians lost their lives, and yet somehow they have turned their grief into gratitude and have been celebrating our veterans for the past 75 years. And it's an incredible story that's never really been told.
That is incredible. And how did this story came about? Like, did you go to Normandy for the first time and you saw how they celebrate, or it just happened to be your family history?
I'm going to let Hunter tell that part of the story.
Yes.
Well, I served in the Army with the 101st Airborne, and I was selected to go to the Soldier of the Year for my battalion, which I ended up winning. And then you go to the next level of competition, which is Soldier of the Year for the brigade. That year in particular, they had an additional qualifying element, which was a combatives tournament, which I had never been sent to a combatives course. So I technically was disqualified from participating. As a consolation prize, they sent me to Normandy. And so I called my mother to let her know that that's where I was going. And I said, Mom, terrible news. I can't go to the Soldier of the Year for brigade. They're sending me to Normandy. And my mom says, we're going to Normandy? And I said, I don't think you heard me correctly. They're sending me to Normandy. And she says, we're going to Normandy? And then after that, I couldn't stop her. She showed up, and then the rest is history.
So as soon as we got there, I met a woman named Patrice Boucherie. She was 5 on D-Day, and she remembers the GIs paratrooping into her town and coming off the beach and giving her gum and candy and chocolate. They set her town free, changed her life forever, and we wanted to tell her story. As well as she introduced me to other survivors of the occupation, the German occupation, and who remembered the Allied liberation. So we tell that story. We were fortunate enough to find an incredible composer who works in LA. His name is Jeff Kurtenacker. He's with us today. His score won a Best Original Score at the International Sound and Film Music Festival. It has brought this film to life, and I would love to have him tell about playing the organ in Normandy.
Yes.
to hear about it.
Yeah, there's a beautiful old church, and it was a wonderful opportunity to be able to, as they're shooting this movie, to be able to just noodle out some ideas and emotions on this old organ in this old church. And we weren't really sure, what shape the score would take at that point, but to be able to have that little recording session and actually have some of that audio used in the score was just awesome. It really ties it together.
Of course, you took the emotions of the movie and you put it into this music. And of course, it's so important to make sure that the score matches it.
Yes.
I'm a musician myself, so I play piano and composed a little bit. And it's just makes the magic more revealing. And in terms of finding those people that wanted to share their stories, what was that process? How did you find them?
That's a great question. It all started with Flo Boucherie, who is Danny's daughter. Flo is my age, and yet she is so incredibly connected with people above her who were older in their 80s and people who were younger who are reenactors and involved in the celebration ceremonies in Normandy. And Flo then introduced us to all the mayors of the towns and the villages, the museums. And when I told the French people that I wanted to tell their story, not the American story, they just rolled out the red carpet and they let us use whatever we needed to tell the story. They all volunteered. All the fees were waived. The reenactors participated just for the joy of honoring the veterans. We had incredible access, but it was primarily because the French people wanted to honor our U.S. veterans.
And why do you think it's so important for this movie to be shown today?
This movie is a unifying story. It reminds America who we were when we were at our very best, when we laid down our lives for others who were oppressed. And I've shown this film, the rough cut of it, all over the United States, north, south, east, and west, in poor neighborhoods and wealthy ones. And everyone finds something that brings them together. And they have a conversation about true gratitude for our freedom and how to stay together and to help each other through the difficult times, and we come out stronger. The French then pass it down to next generations. Were you going to say that?
Oh, and I was going to say that as a service member, we've shown this film to veterans of all wars, and we find a very healing component to it as well, because every service member is an idealist at heart, really. We're serving and we're sacrificing, and we really hope that our actions are to promote good and to live up to, whether it's the Army values, if you're in the Army, or whether you're living up to America's values, and seeing the gratitude from the French just really, really speaks to the heart of a warrior.
It's a beautiful, beautiful message. And I really hope that many people will see this movie. Are you hosting a screening party? Do you know what day?
I do. We are hosting 3 screening parties, actually. The first one is on Friday night at 7 p.m. Central. We're in the Chicago area, so I only know our central times. 7 p.m. Central on Friday night, the 16th. We're doing one at 1 p.m. Central on Saturday, or 12 p.m. Central on Saturday, because we're including the French people in Normandy. Danny, Danny, the girl who wore freedom herself, is going to be in that screening room for question and answers. And then we have a party with the cast party on Sunday at 12 noon, so that the French people can join us if they want. So we're going to be trying to do a screening a day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we do hope that people will come and join us.
Absolutely. There are 3 chances to see the movie, so please join us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
it was
great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Irina.
Hello.
Welcome to our film festival. So excited to have you here. you're here today with a feature film, Savior Angel. And I do know that it's based on a real story. If you could tell us a little bit about it, what is the story for someone that doesn't know what the movie is about?
Hello, I'm a film director of Savior Angel. I speak English very bad, so I have a translator, Anastasia. Okay?
А теперь Аня спрашивает про фильм и почему, что он...
Вот это.
Да.
I also speak Russian, so if you need any help, I can translate for you. Я говорю по-русски тоже.
Ну, отлично. Спасибо. Героиня нашего фильма – это реальная женщина.
So the main character in our film is a person from real life.
Она искала своего мужа, который был сослан в лагерь.
She was looking for her husband, who was sent to the labor camp.
Она реально работала в суде, и в ее руки попало большое количество дел, которые были наполнены разрушенных судеб и несправедливости.
She worked in a court where she came across multiple cases full of the injustice and shattered destinies.
Поэтому Зинаида начала спасать людей.
That is why Zinaida started saving people.
Ну, простая женщина попыталась противостоять системе ГУЛАГ.
An ordinary woman found a way to break the system of Gulag camps.
О ней писали в 70-е годы прошлого века в газетах.
In the 70s, a couple of newspapers published her story.
Но вот мне кажется, что эта история достойна того, чтобы ее знал каждый человек.
However, I suppose that this story deserves to be known by every single one of us.
I totally agree. I grew up in Russia, but I've never heard of the story. So for me, even to be learning about it and to have an opportunity to learn is amazing. I wanted to ask you actually about the shooting process. I've heard that you had a chance to shoot in the actual setting of a Gulag camp.
По поводу процесса съемок, и что она знает, что вы могли снимать в реальном ГУЛАГе.
Да, для нас это вообще, ну, было потрясающе, да. Мы не могли себе представить возможным, что в России сохранился один лагерь, который был построен в 1937 году.
And it was even impossible to imagine that there is still one labor camp from 1937 in Russia nowadays.
Он сохранился в первозданном виде.
It remained in its initial condition.
И этот объект очень многое привнес в нашу картину.
So this true existing filming location added a lot to our piece.
Ну, как мне кажется, что эта энергетика исходит прямо с экрана.
And I think that you can feel that energy right through the screen.
That is the story of a woman going against the system and trying to help as many people as possible. And why do you think it's so important to tell this story nowadays?
Почему ты считаешь, что это так важно рассказать сейчас?
Мне кажется, что этот фильм должно посмотреть как можно больше количество людей и во многих странах, потому что это тот период жизни, который непростой и страшный пережила моя родина, и об этом нужно знать.
I think that this film has to be shown in as many countries as possible for people to see it and to know about the extreme and tough period that my country faced. And it's really needed to be known for how it was.
And when is the chance for everyone to see it? Are you hosting a screen party or it can be shown on demand?
По поводу вечеринки.
А мы ничего не знаем.
We didn't hear anything about the screen party. So.
No worries. I'm sure we'll figure it out and we'll find a way to watch a movie. And how did you, the last question would be, how did you find your cast? Did you cast them? I assume everything was shot in Russia and you find your cast in Russia. How was that?
Как проходил кастинг, как вы находили людей и как вы их выбирали?
Ну, главную героиню мы искали, у нас были достаточно продолжительные пробы, мы нашли замечательную актрису Светлану Иванову.
So the casting was really long, and we were trying to find the perfect person for the main character, and we found an incredible actress, Svetlana Ivanova.
Мы с ней говорили недавно, и она очень рада, что наш фильм в Лос-Анджелесе. Она сожалеет, что она не может приехать сейчас туда.
So recently we talked with her, and she's really happy that we are here in the festival. So we are a part of it, and she's really upset she can't be there to feel this in person.
На главную роль мужскую был утвержден актер, который должен быть сниматься, но у него был параллельно другой проект.
So for the main character for the male, we already figured out and chose the actor, but he had another project going on as well.
И он попросил сделать ему парик, потому что он не захотел стричься, бриться наголо.
So he asked to make a wig for him, not to shave his head.
И мы нашли другого актера, потому что у нас реальный фильм, и мы не могли себе такого позволить.
So as it was a real movie, it is. We wanted everything to be real, so we had to pick another actor for the male part.
And were you able to show this movie in Russia? Did you manage to premiere it in Russia as well, or not yet?
Показывали ли премьерный показ был в России или нет?
Нет, еще он только фестивальные показы.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Да, и поэтому...
I really, really hope that as many people as possible will see this movie. And to me, it's a huge pleasure to see Russian filmmakers participating in this film festival. It's really dear to my heart to see that. And this is a very, very important and tough story, and it should be told. And I am myself very excited to see it as well. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's right. It is the La Femme Film Festival. Paulina always doing her thing over there and doing it right. Look, I understand, Paulina, that last one was kind of a little bit more important to you, especially because your motherland. Can you talk about that?
Yes, I'm actually Russian, despite the fact that I'm in Argentina and I lived in LA and live in LA and act in LA. So
Yes. Yes.
And to me, to be very honest, what impacted me more is just to hear this story that I've never heard before growing up there. So it's amazing that finally people are finding a way of telling those stories. And I'm so happy that La Femme is giving this opportunity to the filmmakers.
Yeah, this is one of the, the in the header, it's La Femme Film Festival, the International Film Festival. And I feel that this year we really do get to meet around the world, because as long as you have the internet in your particular country, and it's allowed in your particular country, except for, North Korea and China, you can watch and stream in so many different countries this particular film festival, which a lot of the films are on demand, video on demand. You can watch it anytime during the film festival, and of course participate in some of the. Let's describe for those wondering really quick what a party is. It's not like the typical party. Because I'm not going to lie, the first time I heard that, I go, wait, there's a screening party in person? Who's doing the coronavirus checkup there? This is the virtual party, which we're having, right, Paulina? Which is kind of cool, because you and I could party for virtual, right?
You can, tune in anytime and bring your snacks and do it from the comfort of your couch. So
I'm going to do the Carlton. Hold on. All right. Look, Paulina, obviously, I think we got somebody waiting in the wings there, but we're waiting to get their video on. We've got somebody just kind of hiding out. I don't know why. Selkit Kaufman, who actually I wanted to get on here. A Voice for Whales is the documentary. A Voice for Whales was created to tell the story of his fight to save humpback whales from extinction by educating the public. And I don't know if Selkit is there with us. Maybe both you and I could do this interview together. What do you think, Paulina?
Yes, let's try it.
All right, Selkit, good morning. Welcome to, I don't know why I keep saying morning. I'm so used to doing the morning show on ABC News Radio, KMT, 1490 AM, which is why you have it here. Selkit Kaufman, good morning. Hello. Welcome to the La Femme Film Festival virtual edition. Selkit, whales. I love whales. Evidently you do too.
I do. Thank you for having me. This is such an honor. I'm just so thrilled to be part of this festival this year. It's still kind of early here.
Inspired the story. It's a documentary.
Yes.
And why whales?
Why whales? So it's a story actually about my late husband, Greg Kaufman, who was he's a researcher back in the day, and he was a big pioneer in non-invasive whale research. He really fell in love with whales, and he started a nonprofit organization here in Maui that's its mission is to protect the oceans through science and advocacy and inspire environmental stewardship. So there's a lot of research, and then there's an education department and conservation department. So it's a what they call a social enterprise. So it is a for-profit company that sustains the nonprofit side. So it's kind of unique in its own way. But anyways, we became really close friends, and I got to know him, and eventually things happened. But unfortunately, he got ill and passed away in 2018, and I was determined to honor his legacy, and I needed to get busy doing something, so I decided to go through all these archives and all these find people that knew him and put the story together, and so that's kind of how that ended up.
Selkit, I want to say thank you, first of all, for opening up and being very open about, his life. If there was something that you can say people didn't know about him, but they should have, because you knew him more intimately than most of us. We saw, in essence, his ability to want to help whales, but at the very heart of it, why do you think that was so near and dear to him?
It's funny, it wasn't until to do part of the filming I had to go to Tonga, and I always, I've always been an animal activist since I was little, and I like all animals. I do like whales, but I never really understood why he liked whales and why whales. That was my question to him. So when I traveled to Tonga last year, I had a very intimate experience with the whales, and most than anything, the people there. And they, all those stories that I've heard, they all were true. They all came true. And I got to meet some really, really inspirational people, and I kind of had a glimpse of what it must have been like back then in those days, and what he saw and what he experienced through this culture and this beauty. And I realized then that that's where he fell in love with whales. And, you know, there's so many problems in the world, but I guess it's just a matter of picking something that you feel most passionate about and try to use your talents and resources to define your, you know, your strength in this planet to help hopefully make it better. That's all we can do.
Yeah, Paulina, I don't know if you've ever been whale watching, have you?
You know, I always wanted to, but somehow I never had a chance.
Well, you guys are always welcome here in Maui. Just let me know when you're on island, and I'll make sure you see them.
The shots. Oh yes, we're there booking a flight. Right
So
now.
actually, we saw our first whale sighting yesterday. They spotted the first one. They start trickling down from Alaska during their migration, but it's January, February, and March are the peak seasons. It's the best time to come see them. So if you guys are out and about, let me know.
I think the ocean's probably the safest place to be during coronavirus, Phil. I'm just saying. Just don't take the coronavirus into the other mammal world, if you know what I mean.
Correct.
And if someone wants to learn a little bit more about the movement and organization that has been started, where can they find more information about it?
So the website would be pacificwhale.org. The landing page will have the for-profit and the nonprofit, so you can learn about each one. But if you go to the nonprofit side and go to the About page, it'll describe all about our mission and everything that we do here in the community and in other parts of the world, including Ecuador, Australia, and we partner with a group in Chile, the blue whales.
Well, our friends at La Femme Film Festival all want to come, so I guess that invite you're gonna have to have a very big party in Maui very soon for all of us. Okay, we'll get coronavirus tested first.
We have enough capacity on our vessels, so for sure.
Done. It's a date. Okay, well, thank you so very much for spending time with us. La Femme Film Festival is where it's at. 2020. Let's enjoy this great documentary. And before we let you go, Selkit, if there's one thing that you want people to take away from this particular film, what is it?
I want people to really feel, I mean, you don't have to be Greg Kaufman or any of Steve Jobs or these people that just have it in them that make, their impact. You could be anybody, and everybody has that power to make a difference. Everybody. And just a little bit everywhere will make a great big difference around the world. And you just have to believe in that. And, with everything going on, everything, sometimes it's just overwhelming. You have to remember that you have the power to change it. Whatever it is that you can find, that you love.
Very powerful words. And I
well said.
Well
said.
Live our lives like that. Thank you.
I'm going to get my party pass on. All right, you guys too as well. The link is attached to this video. Go check it out. Get your tickets now. It's all there. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. To my right there is Paulina
Michaels.
Yeah, and to the right, we both got to point to our, over to Selkit. Right, there you go. Selkit.
It is. Oh my goodness.
You got to go check out her documentary right there, okay? And thank you, Selkit, for sharing your loves, forever love with all of us.
Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you. It's an honor. I appreciate it.
All right, people. We'll see you later. We're still having, we're doing what? Join us for another 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We're going to have a whole new 2 hours. Paulina, myself, and Martha Casera, we're going to binge watch some things ahead of time, and then we'll catch right back up to you. So join us a little bit later. We'll be back.
Thank you.